Good evening, Richmond County, and welcome to another edition of the RO Sports Show, brought to you by Richmond Community College, local college, big impact. We're kicking things off a little different on today's show with the official Richmond County Athletes of the Week, presented by Moss Brothers Tires and Service. New to the sport of competitive bowling this winter, Richmond bowler Haley Miller is coming off a career performance in last week's Sandhills Athletic Conference Singles Tournament, where she punched her ticket to the state tournament. This is her fourth career recognition and second this school year, after earning it following her trip to the Girls Golf State Championship.
So Haley, you're kind of in your first season of bowling with the Lady Raiders, and you're heading to the state championship. So we'll start there with your performance last week at the singles tournament. So just kind of walk us through what went well and how you were able to manage to get inside the top 10.
I mean, it was crazy how I was able to pick up spares and get strikes that I wasn't expecting, and how consistent I was, so that really helped me get a good score.
Did you expect to make states when you kind of entered that tournament?
I didn't at all. Well, I kind of did, because I saw that my scores were actually up there, but then after my third game, I thought I knew I was out of it.
What's it like to get that call kind of the next day to find out that they'd expanded the field and that you did make it?
I guess I was just really surprised at that point. I was just like, oh, okay, let's do this.
Pretty cool. So can you kind of explain how you think that you progressed this season from where you started back in November to where you are now as a bowler?
I guess in the beginning I wasn't too bad, but I've got better at picking up spares, especially when there's one pin left. And I don't know, just being able to pick up those spares has helped me a lot.
What area do you think is your strongest as a bowler?
I don't know. Probably just, I don't know.
Just being a competitor?
Yeah.
Being a competitor. What are your expectations for the Bowling State Championships next week?
I really don't know what to expect at all, because I've never been. I've just been for golf. So it'll be interesting to see all the girls there and how good they are.
And so you kind of segued into golf, so my next question was, how do you think playing in 3 state championships with golf and the pressure and the experience, how do you think that'll help you going in kind of the unknown?
I think it's pretty cool, because with golf I was actually like under a lot of pressure, but with bowling I feel like it's not as much pressure and I can just have fun with it.
What would be a satisfactory finish for you?
Like a score?
A score or placement?
I don't know. I want to end on a turkey in the last frame, hopefully.
Okay.
In one game at least.
That's a reasonable goal. So Haley, we're going to transition over to our Raider Rapid Response segment. So bowlers usually have nicknames. Have you come up with a nickname, like a cool nickname for yourself?
No.
No? Well, what would it be if you could give yourself a nickname?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, we'll think about that one.
Okay.
You graduate in just a couple of months, really a semester. So what schools are you kind of narrowing your choices down to, and what are you going to study?
I'm kind of looking at ECU or state right now, and probably going to either PA school or vet school. So trying to substitute.
Very cool. Do you have a hidden or a secret talent that many people may not know about?
I don't.
Do you have an interesting fact that you'd like to share? No? Okay. Last question then for you. If you could choose, you should be able to answer this one. If you could choose any flavor of ice cream to describe your personality, which would it be, and why would you choose that?
Oreo ice cream, 'cause that's my favorite, and I think it has a cool personality to it.
The 2019-2020 season has been a roller coaster for Richmond wrestler Joey Nicholson, who has set program records while also missing time on the mat due to an assortment of injuries. But as the final third of his senior season winds down, Nicholson is heating up, including a strong performance over the weekend in the Bulldog Brawl. This is Nicholson's second career recognition, also earning it as a sophomore wrestler.
So Joey, you're fresh off of a first place finish at the Bulldog Brawl in the 120-pound weight class. So let's just start there. Can you kind of walk us through those 3 wins on Saturday and what worked well for you?
Well, really well is trying to get caught up in too many ties, because most of the time when I'm wrestling, like a lot of people, they know I shoot a lot, so they try to catch a lot of underhooks to try to throw. And it's like one of my weaknesses. My dad just kept practicing with me over and over again, just to not get caught in them. And it just helped out a lot.
Talk about the match against Brandon Jacoby in the finals, Carolina Forest wrestler. You won that one 7-1. So just kind of talk about battling that out for 3 rounds?
He was a really good competitor. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna get that many points on him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like a 3-2 match. I thought it would be really close. But then as I started shooting more and more opportunities started opening up, and I realized I could just take him down at will when I needed to.
Good, absolutely. So back in November, Joey, you also became the program's all-time winningest wrestler, and you're kind of getting near the 150 wins mark now. So what's it mean to you to be able to say that you're atop that list?
It feels great to be at the top of the list. I mean, I want to set a goal and show everybody that I can be the best I can be.
What's it taken from a training standpoint to rack up those many wins?
Well, I have to train hard. Can't go through practice just lollygagging and not doing everything right. Have to try to motivate everybody else to do so.
That's right.
Even when they don't believe they can, I have to make sure they can believe.
Joey, it's no secret, too, that you've spent the last 4 years wrestling for your dad, who's the head coach here, Coach Earl Nicholson. So just kind of talk about that unique dynamic in wrestling for your dad and having him coach you along the way.
Yeah, it's been a good experience, learning, getting better every year, improving, dealing with new people, new teams, just becoming captain. Everything's been a good experience so far.
How do you think your relationship with your dad has helped you on the mat?
I mean, we both just really like wrestling a lot, and we talk about it all the time, learn different moves together. We go to college matches and watch wrestling, and we just go through videos of that I lose or I win, and just pick up on all the mistakes and work on them at practice. And not only do we do it with me, we do it with our other wrestlers.
Very cool. So, Joey, now for some lighter questions in our Raider Rapid Response segment. So first, are you considering wrestling at the collegiate level, and if so, where, and have any schools shown interest?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to wrestle in college. I have talked to Pembroke's coach and Spartanburg Methodist, and last year we talked to Belmont Athletes coach.
Okay.
I think I'm looking to try to go to Pembroke, though.
Very cool. What's your secret to maintaining and making weight each year? Because especially, wrestling season's right in the middle of the holidays. There's all that good food. So what's your secret to that?
Well, first, when I first started the season, I'm a lot over, probably 15, 20 pounds over. So then about a month or two, I just drank a whole bunch of water to get ready for a big weight cut. And I just started dieting. And as I started dieting, it just started dropping off. And then during the season, I try to not get over at least 5 pounds.
Okay. Do you have a nickname on the mat? And if not, if you can make one up for yourself, what would it be?
Well, ever since my shoulder got hurt, my dad was always calling me a one-arm assassin.
Okay. You kind of roll with that?
Yeah.
Last question for you, Joey. Do you have any pre-match rituals or superstitions that you do before each match?
Oh, I do just warming up, listening to music, just moving around in my stance, and just get my head straight before I go out there.
Richmond junior quarterback Caleb Hood has announced his verbal commitment to play at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The 6-foot, 212-pound signal caller took to his Twitter account Sunday night to make his decision public. He spent the day at UNC on Sunday with several Raider teammates and his family, including younger brother and Raiders wide receiver Kellen Hood. Hood first received the full-ride scholarship offer in early May from the Tar Heels. Since then, from what was his first offer, he has also fielded offers from schools in North Carolina, Virginia, and Ohio. He's been touted as a 3-star recruit. Hood explained that he has been recruited by head coach Mack Brown and his coaching staff as a quarterback. There is potential for him to move to defensive back, as he's also met with Coach Jay Bateman several times, UNC's defensive backs coach. There is also a personal connection with Hood and the Tar Heels, as his father, Errol Hood, was a 3-year starting cornerback for UNC from 1998 to 2001. Now, Caleb will get the chance to carry on the family tradition in Chapel Hill following his high school graduation in 2021. Up next is all things basketball, including 2 of the biggest rivalries here in Richmond County. That would be, of course, Richmond versus Scotland and Rockingham versus Hamlet. But first, a word from Richmond Community College.
Engineering influences every aspect of our lives, from the cars we drive to the computers we use. Every modern convenience we enjoy is a direct result of the innovative work of engineers and technicians. At Richmond Community College, we are educating the next generation who will be maintaining or improving upon these products and services. Our students work with programmable logic controllers, experiment with solar energy, design and create objects with a three-dimensional printer, and operate cutting-edge machinery. Students can choose from a number of programs such as mechatronics, welding, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, electric utility substation and relay technology, and industrial systems. Programs that equip our students with skills for 21st century jobs. Innovative and progressive, Richmond Community College is committed to building a brighter future for its students and the communities it serves in Richmond and Scotland counties. Visit our website today.
Taking things one game at a time, the Richmond girls basketball team notched another pivotal conference win on Friday. Traveling to Scotland for the latest installment of the rivalry, the Lady Raiders used double-digit scoring performances from Kiana Love and Jakira Covington to earn a 51-43 win. It was the team's 6th win in the last 8 meetings between the two SAC teams, although head coach Teddy Mosley wasn't there to celebrate due to being out of town for personal reasons. Assistant coaches Tanika Reeder and Marisa Toney took over the bench in his absence. The pieces continue to fall in place for the Lady Raiders as they picked up their 12th win of the season on Monday. Taking a day off from the classroom to observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the Lady Raiders traveled to Terry Sanford to compete in the inaugural 6-team MLK Dream Jam. Richmond played in the second of the 3 girls games using a strong defensive effort and 3 double-digit scores to bounce Village Christian Academy 55-37. Leading the way in the scoring column was senior point guard Kiana Love, who put up a game-high 16 points for the Lady Raiders. Chipping in with 12 points was junior guard Jayla McDougal, and junior forward Jakiri Covington added 11 points. The win for Richmond made it the most in a single season since winning 13 games during the 2013-2014 season. Hoping to stay atop the SAC standings, the Richmond boys basketball team let a game slip on the road at Scotland on Friday. Having beaten the Fighting Scots the last 2 times the rivals have met, the Raiders dropped a 57-54 decision in the latest chapter. Richmond had several chances to tie the game in the closing minute, but junior forward Nige Stroman's 3-point attempt at the buzzer banged off the back iron. The Raiders suffered just their second SAC loss of the season and now sit in second place and trail Pinecrest in the standings. The Raiders rebounded from the loss and returned to the win column during Monday's Martin Luther King Jr. Classic at Red Springs High School. The Raiders capped the day-long tournament against the host Red Devils with an exciting 56-51 win, which came down to the final seconds. In what proved to be a tightly contested ball game that saw neither team gain more than a 6-point lead throughout the 4 quarters, it would be junior point guard P.J. McLaughlin who lifted the Raiders to their 12th win of the season in the 4th quarter. Entering the final stanza with just 2 points, McLaughlin locked in and scored 10 points in the 4th, but none more important than the 2 he scored on a steal and a layup to tie the game at 49 points with 1:15 seconds remaining. Richmond now sits 12-5 overall and 5-2 in SAC play. They'll travel to Purnell Sweat on Friday to start the second half of conference play. Rockingham Middle School's gymnasium reached maximum capacity crowds on Tuesday, even turning spectators away as the Rockingham and Hamlet boys basketball teams didn't disappoint. In the latest chapter of the storied rival, the Red Rams and Rockets duked it out with bragging rights on the line, but also with a chance to gain a game on one another. For the second season in a row, the game came down to the final couple of possessions and saw the Rockets earn a 51-45 win. On the girls' side, the Hamlet and Rockingham teams clashed for the first time since playing one another in last year's SEM-SAC title game. The Lady Rockets used a strong second half to defeat the Lady Red Rams 41-28 in the latest chapter of the in-county rivalry. Head coach Teresa Mason and her Lady Rockets improved to 6-0 on the season, and Rockingham has won 17 straight games. Both Rockingham squads will return to action on Thursday at home against East Hoke, while Hamlet will host Anson the same afternoon. Both games will tip off at 4 p.m. followed by the boys. And that's going to wrap up another edition of the RO Sports Show, brought to you by Richmond Community College. For the latest and breaking sports stories here in Richmond County, you can always visit richmondobserver.com and click on the Sports tab. You can also find some exclusive things across all of RO Sports social media, and be sure to tune in for Ross at 5:30 every Thursday evening for your Raider wrap-up. In the meantime, I'm Matt Harrelson reporting from the Richmond studio in downtown Rockingham. Have a great week.